Well, hello everybody. It's me, Sean the Music Man, again. Good to see you. Good to see everybody out there in TV land, right? Hi. So I put together a nice little set of songs, patriotic songs for our upcoming holiday, 4th of July. It's on Saturday this week, and I'm sure there's going to be some barbecues out there. Maybe not as many as we had hoped, but we're going to celebrate in our way this year. And my way is, of course, to sing patriotic songs, and there's so many good ones. Some of my favorite books are full of good old patriotic songs. Some go back to 1776. How about that? So I have patriotic songs from the year of our inception, the year of the Revolution, 1776, all the way up to, the 80s. Oh gosh, I forgot to look for that before I started. Maybe I'll find it before. I don't see it. I won't even talk about it unless I can find it. But anyway, I got lost. It was God Bless the USA. And instead of that, we're going to start with God Bless America. Good old Irving Berlin. One of my favorites. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. Yay, God bless America, 1938, Irving Berlin. You know, I mentioned, maybe I didn't mention, that he gave it to Kate Smith to debut in 38. And she sang it with a stirring introduction, which I've recited for you before. Okay, right on the next page is another interesting patriotic song by Irving Berlin. We started out with one that everybody knows. In fact, God Bless America was so popular, people lobbied government for it to be our national anthem after he wrote it in the 30s. Of course, we still love our Star Spangled Banner. That's just fine. And so I want to turn here to another patriotic song from Irving Berlin. This one written in 49. This one's after World War II. The other one was before World War II. This is based on the poem written by Emma Lazarus. The poem is at the base, or at least an excerpt is at the base of the Statue of Liberty. The poem's called The New Colossus. And in 1876, for our 100th birthday, France gave us the Colossus, well, the Statue of Liberty. And it took a long time before they could erect it because they couldn't get the money to make a pedestal for this giant statue. And so, gosh, who was it? I wonder if it's written here. Philanthropist Joseph Pulitzer raised money for the base of the Statue of Liberty. It's a nice story, isn't it? Joseph Pulitzer. Okay, so this is my little version of Irving Berlin's song. I never heard this growing up, so I learned it from the music here. I took a little bit of liberty with it, but it's basically as it's written. Here we go. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the hopeless tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the hopeless tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Wow, what pretty words, huh? We need to hear more words like that in this modern day and age, huh? Because that poem signifies kind of what we're about as America. We are a nation of immigrants, aren't we? My family came from other shores, even if it was a long time ago. Okay. Pardon me, I hope I don't have to blow my nose again. God forbid. Okay, I think I'm okay. We're going to continue on with some more patriotic songs right here on the next page. After these two Irving Berlin songs is a song from 1861. We've talked about it, but I'll tell you the story briefly again. 1861, it's the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Originally, John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave. Remember, we talked about that. Julia Ward Howe rewrote the words, and in 1861 published them in The Atlantic, an East Coast magazine. I think it's still going on today, The Atlantic. Abraham Lincoln saw it and loved it. It became his favorite song. The Army's been marching to this ever since 1861. The Battle Hymn of the Republic. I'll sing all 4 verses today. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. His righteous sentence with the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never sound retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea. holy. Let's live to make men free while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Sing it again. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Yay, glory, hallelujah. No wonder Abraham Lincoln liked it so much. Oh, that's a good song. Good to hear all those words. It's a true abolitionist anthem or hymn, huh? Well, it's a battle hymn and an abolitionist hymn. Okay. By the way, Glory Hallelujah was in the original version, John Brown's Body. That part, Julia Ward, how it didn't have to change. Glory Hallelujah. That was good. Okay. Thinking of another big song from the late 1800s. This is many years now after the Civil War. America the Beautiful, 1893. That's when Irving Berlin was a young man. He was born in the late 1800s too. 1893. Irving Berlin was already alive. It's hard to believe, huh? So Catherine Lee Bates wrote this when she took a job teaching summer school to the pioneers out west. She took a train from Massachusetts. Catherine Lee Bates. Did I say Julia again? It's Catherine Lee Bates this time. Catherine took a train from Massachusetts. They stopped at Pikes Peak, Colorado. And she went way up to the top of Pikes Peak, 14,000 feet, something like that. 14,000. That's big. Gosh. I think of the mountains around here at 6,000 or 7,000 feet. I always thought that was really tall. Can you imagine 14,000 feet? Woo! No wonder when you go up there, it's one of the grandest views in all of America, and it inspired Catherine to write these verses. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, etc. So if you've ever been to Pikes Peak, you can think of that when we sing this. Once again, I have all the verses. The first verse, everybody knows the first verse of just about every patriotic song we have. Everybody knows the first verse. That's kind of how it goes. But part of my job is to sing the whole song, right? So here's 3 verses of America the Beautiful. When I was growing up, it was Ray Charles. I'm sure I've mentioned him before. I loved his version. Okay, I have to get into a high tenor, I think, to sing this one. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above a fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet who stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster city city's gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. What a powerful hymn, huh? It is a hymn, by the way, America the Beautiful, because it was taken from a hymn by Samuel Augustus Ward, who wrote a hymn in 1882. The name's probably on here. I don't see it, but a lot of people, well, I guess the story is that Catherine Lee Bates wrote the song as a poem. It was a poem first, published as a poem, and a whole bunch of American composers offered to set it to music, and she decided to use this old hymn song. I guess the words and the melody fit perfectly together, as you can see they did, huh? And so 1893 the poem was born, and soon after the song. Okay, I have a whole bunch of wonderful patriotic songs in here. Let's do a couple popular songs. This is probably one of the most modern. It's by Woody Guthrie. Remember good old Woody Guthrie? Of course you do. Early 30s balladeer, it calls him. Poet, philosopher, grassroots American, Woody Guthrie. He was the father of Arlo Guthrie, who was popular when I was growing up. Woody Guthrie, he died just before I was born, 1967, but he left us with a wonderful legacy of songs. I often mused in my mind that he must have been sort of a hobo type of guy, but far from it. Turns out I was reading about him, and in the 30s he got paid by the government to to ride around on trains and write songs about America. He got paid. How cool was that? Oh, look at my little puppy. Coda just came to say hi. Hello, Coda. You gonna put your face up here? No? Okay. I let my dogs loose today, so they may come interrupt us a little bit. They're wondering why I'm over here howling away. Okay, so let's do it. Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. Me, 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 me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun comes shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, the voice was chanting. California to New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. What a wonderful sentiment, huh? The four corners of the country. I'm sure this is one of those songs that Woody delivered when he got that job riding around on trains. Oh, okay. Right on the next page is another patriotic song, sort of from the more modern age, 1940. Well, at least it's well within the 20th century here. And another one I never heard growing up. I don't know how I missed this one, but having been doing what I'm doing here for 20 years, I've learned the song and added it to my repertoire. This Is My Country. That's the song I'm talking about. This Is My Country. So, written in 1940, just a bit before we entered the war, along with Irving Berlin's God Bless America, became one of the more important songs in the early days of the war. Thick with patriotism this song is, yes. This Is My Country, 1940. To have and to hold. This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the bold. For this is my country to have and to hold. 1940, this is my country. It's all of our country too, yes. Okay, very nice. Let's see if there's anything else in this big book. I'd show it to you, but it's falling apart. It's another one of my big Reader's Digest books. It's the Family Songbook of Faith and Joy. I've told you I have at least 10 of these Reader's Digest books. I just love them because they're full of good arrangements of great songs. Especially just love, there's a full piano arrangement and guitar arrangement on the same page. See, I get the whole music. Okay, is there anything else in here maybe? Maybe not. Okay, we'll come back to this if we need to. I can show it to you then. This is it, the Family Songbook of Faith and Joy. I'm going to shift now to this one, this big orange book. I don't know if you can read it there. What does it say? The Fake Book of the World's Favorite Songs. Oh, I hope so. And I've told you before, but I'll tell you again, a fake book means that I'm faking the guitar part. The music that's on the page is for the vocals. So the only music written is my vocal melody, we would call it, right? And then there are guitar symbols, but I have to, the way I play it, I have to sort of make it up. That's the part that's faked. I never liked that name, fake book. I like to think of it more as an educated guess, right? Than I'm faking it. Okay, Yankee Doodle Boy. I opened the book here to the very end. We're in the Y's, and it's George M. Cohan. He was a real American patriot. He, like myself, he was an Irish American. He wrote Harrigan. Remember that? Harrigan is Harrigan. And well, like me, he's a real American, Irish American patriot. And I've always felt that way about myself, and he did too, because he wrote a song about his own patriotism, The Yankee Doodle Boy. Did you know that was about him? He's a Yankee Doodle dandy. Born on the 4th of July, he says, huh? Well, he was born on the 3rd of July. So he just fudged it by a day, for the song at least, right? Okay, let's do a couple George M. Cohan songs. I've got Yankee Doodle Boy and Grand Old Flag here. Well, let's make a little medley. I'll connect them and we'll make a little medley. Starting with the Yankee Doodle Boy. Here we go. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, the real life nephew of my Uncle Sam's, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Well, Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the ponies. I am a Yankee Doodle boy. Let's sing it again. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, the real life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Well, Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the pony. I am a Yankee Doodle boy. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag, but should old acquaintance be forgot, you ride on the grand old flag. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, but there's never a boast or brag, but should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Okay, grand old flag. Some interesting musical things we could talk about if we were going to have a music class. I remember studying both of these songs in college because of a little device Cohan used called parody. In music, what parody means is that you're parroting, or of course it's parody, I know. You're mimicking, you're quoting, it's a better word, that's the word I'm looking for. You're quoting another song, an older song, you're quoting it in your new song, and it's called parody. And Cohan does that in both of these songs. He's got his modern Yankee Doodle Boy, and at the very last line, he quotes the original Yankee Doodle, doesn't he? What does it say here? Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the pony. That's it, just that little bit. But that's enough to make it parody. So he quoted that original Yankee Doodle in his Yankee Doodle Boy. So he does something similar in Grand Old Flag. Again, it's parody. He's quoting an older song in his newer song, Grand Old Flag. And somewhere towards the end, he quotes Auld Lang Syne. By the way, Auld is Scottish for old. So if you say Auld Lang Syne, you're not wrong. It means the same thing. Auld is old. Auld Lang Syne. Let's see here. He says, never a boast or brag, but should old acquaintance be forgot. That's all. Again, just a little bit. But of course, that's from Auld Lang Syne. So I just wanted to point that out. That Cohan, that was a modern technique quoting old songs called parody, and he did it to great effect there, didn't he? Okay. Well, of course, my poor book's falling apart. Can you see what song that is right there? This is the oldest patriotic song in America, Yankee Doodle. Goes back to 1776. This is the original Yankee Doodle, by the way. The version that we remember, Yankee Doodle came to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni, all that, that's not the original version. That's maybe a children's version, or maybe some English soldiers made a joke of our original patriotic song. I don't know the origins of it, but I know it's not the original. The original talks about Captain Washington on a slapping stallion. By the way, that's how we're able to date it. Captain Washington, 1776. All right, so here's 3 verses. I've seen versions with at least 5 or 6 verses. Someday I'll have to write down some of these other verses so I can remember them. But I have at least 3 verses from the original Yankee Doodle. Listen for them talk about Captain Washington. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Here we go. Father and I went down to camp along with Captain Goodwin. Then we saw the men and boys as thick as hasty pudding. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. And then, try that again. And there was Captain Washington upon a slapping stallion, giving orders to his men, I guess there was a million. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. And then the feathers in his hat, they looked so very fine. I wanted Pescally to give to my Jemima. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. That's a far cry from sweet as sugar candy, isn't it? I could hear my guitar going out of tune, so let's just double check the tuning. So lucky these newfangled guitars have tuners on them now. God, wish they had that when I was a kid. That would have made life a lot easier. My poor guitar student, this one kid, I make him especially... I'm only doing one during quarantine, one lesson. He lives across the street. He comes over, I make him tune his guitar part of the lesson every time. It takes him 5, 10, 15 minutes. Oh gosh, poor guy. But part of the lesson is that you cannot play the guitar until you tune it. That's just the law of the land. Don't even play anything until that guitar is in tune. Okay, so that was Yankee Doodle. And we're going to have a fun little variety show when it comes to these old songs. One just came to mind. Let's see if I have it. I do. When Johnny Comes Marching Home. I think I did this on Memorial Day. Both the North and the South marched to the song at the end of the Civil War, so it's an 1860s song, maybe even 1865. When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Of course, Johnny's marching north, Johnny's marching south. It's only got one verse here, but I know there's at least 3. Let's see if I can remember all 3 of the verses. Okay, here we go. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bell will peal with joy, hurrah, hurrah, to welcome home our lads and lasses say, with roses they will strew the way, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The laurel wreath is ready now, hurrah, hurrah, to place upon his loyal brow, hurrah, hurrah. Let each one perform some part to fill with joy the warrior's heart, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome and hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Ooh, Johnny comes marching home. Boy, makes me think of Oh Susanna. Is it Johnny marching home in that song? Let me just take a look. You know, I let the Spirit move me, and I hadn't thought of this one necessarily, but it is a bit of a patriotic song because it's, again, a post-Civil War song, or at least, actually, this must be in the middle of the Civil War, written by Stephen Foster, who died, I think he died in 1863, right in the middle of the war. Oh, Susanna, Stephen Foster, he's talking about a wounded soldier coming back. He's got a banjo on his knee. What the heck does that mean, right? Is he sitting down and playing the banjo every once in a while? Or is he wounded and the banjo's keeping his legs straight as he limps home? I wonder exactly what he means, huh? All right, well, I've got at least a couple verses here of the old Oh, Susanna. Written during the time of the Civil War. It must be towards the end of old Stephen Foster's life. I think it was 1828 to 1863. It's a pretty short life, huh? 36 years old. Poor guy. Of course, they didn't live long back then, huh? Stephen Foster is considered to be the first great American songwriter. And he wrote dozens of songs that we all know and remember. This is one of his most famous. Oh, Susanna. Okay, here we go. Come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee, going Louisiana, true love for to see. Rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry. Sun so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. For I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. For I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Had a dream the other night when everything was still. Thought I saw Susanna dear coming down the hill. The buckwheat cake was in her mouth, a tear was in her eye. Said, I am coming from the south, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. For I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. For I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. It was started out in a baritone. I had to move it up to a tenor. Oh, Susanna. There's more to that too. I've seen more verses. One of my life's dreams would be to take some of these old songs that I sing all the time and just collect all the verses together, get them all together. Like Greensleeves, for instance. God, I've seen so many versions of that. There must be like 15 verses to Greensleeves. Oh my God. Okay, all right. Well, that was a couple from the Civil War. It reminds me of another song called Tenting Tonight. Oh God, I just opened the book to it. You see, right here. Tenting Tonight. I guess that means I have to sing it. And that's okay. So we're doing a little bit of patriotism for our soldiers, and in particular, three or so songs in a row from the Civil War. Pardon me. Tenting Tonight was taught to me by an old veteran. Again, I'm pretty sure I played this for you guys on Memorial Day. But it's a song that I very, very rarely ever saying. Even some 4th of July celebrations like today, I would forget to sing it. But in honor of our veterans, and particularly this one is from the Civil War, and it speaks of the weariness of war. So well, any veteran from any time that's understood and served for us, understood the weariness of war, I guess is what I mean to say. A beautiful song, Tenting Tonight. Here we go. We're tenting tonight on the old campground. Give us a song to cheer our weary hearts, a song of home and friends we love so dear. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, wishing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts that are looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. We've been tenting tonight on the old campground, thinking of days gone by, of the loved ones at home that gave us a hand, and the tear that said goodbye. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, wishing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts that are looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. We're tired of war on the old campground. Many are dead and gone, of the brave and the true who have left their homes. Others been wounded long. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, wishing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts that are looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. Gosh, what a pretty song. Oh yeah, I always thought so when I heard it. Feels like it was written during the war, or near the end of the war. So again, probably from the 1860s. It's not dated here in my book. Probably from the 1860s. Okay. So let's continue on with some more of the older patriotic songs I've learned over the years. One comes to mind. I wonder if I have the music for it. It's America, My Country 'Tis of Thee. Okay, so I don't have the music for it. I was, as I was flipping through, I was remembering it fell out of my book and I lost it forever. But of course we know My Country 'Tis of Thee by heart, right? There are more verses to it. We'll see if any more verses come to mind, but let's at least sing My Country 'Tis of Thee, the first verse, and if the Spirit will move me into the other verses, I'll sing some more verses, okay? My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. My native country, the land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. My heart with rapture thrills like that above. Let music swell the breeze and ring from all the trees, sweet freedom song. Let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake, let rocks their silence break, the sound prolong. Hey, at least remembered a couple more verses, huh? My country, 'tis of thee. There's a bunch of verses to it, and I sang three beautiful verses. It was written by a reverend, I'm trying to remember his name. Was it Samuel Smith? It was written in the 1800s for a children's choir to sing at a 4th of July celebration. So how about that? Perfectly appropriate today. And that's how the song was born. That and the tune, which was stolen from England. Did you catch it? America, my country, 'tis of thee is the same exact tune as God Save the King, or God Save the Queen. We sing it now, right? God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen, send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen. Isn't that interesting? Some people go their whole lives and never make that correlation, you know. America, my country, 'tis of thee, same exact tune as God Save the Queen. Okay. Very good. Okay, I think we have time for at least one more. Let me see, what have I skipped so far? Let me think about it. Well, we know that I don't have one of the songs I wanted to do. So let's finish up with a couple of songs that speak lovingly of the country. One or two, huh? An old friend of mine, Bill Monroe at Courtyard Care. He used to love to sing this with me. He even taught me a verse. I'm sure I can't remember it now, but the song I'm about to sing is Red River Valley. It reminds me of good old Bill Monroe. He passed away some years ago, but I've been doing this so long, I'll never forget him or this song. Red River Valley. Here we go. From this valley they say you are going. I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say you are taking the sunshine that brightened our pathway a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and the one that has loved you so true. Now just think of this valley you're leaving. Oh, how lonely, how sad it will be. And just think of the fond heart you're breaking and the grief you are causing to me. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and the one that has loved you so true. Yeehaw! My puppy Coda likes the song. She came up to say hi again. Hello, Coda, sweetheart. She was just sitting right there watching and listening so intently. You're such a beautiful sweetie. Sorry you can't see her. Let me see. Yeah, she's down there somewhere. Okay, anyway. Okay, Coda, go lay down, girl. Oh, no. She's pulling on the cord. That's okay. That's dogs, right? We're live and we got dogs. Okay, let's do one more big number. And thank you again for spending this patriotic time with me. Happy 4th of July. Why don't we finish up with the Star Spangled Banner? That makes sense, doesn't it? Since it is 4th of July, I hardly ever sing the song. I often will give a little bit of a lecture on it if I do, especially at 4th of July celebrations, because Star Spangled Banner, well, it's one of our many patriotic songs that we only know the first verse. And it is a beautiful song with 4 verses. Did you even know we had 4 verses to the Star Spangled Banner? I'm not going to sing all 4 of them. I'm just going to sing the first verse that you can all sing along with me, or if you want to cross your hand on your heart, you can do that too. I'm a little bit lucky that this song sits right in my range. The Star Spangled Banner, notoriously hard to sing because it goes low and way up high and sits mostly in between, but it goes low and way up high. All right, Star Spangled Banner, written by Francis Scott Key in 1814, I think it was 1814. It was during the English-American War of the second one, the 1814 years. He wrote the song, of course, he was on board a prison ship with prisoners on board rotting to death in the hold of the ship. It was a terrible, terrible thing. And Francis Scott Key saw Fort McHenry being bombarded all night long, and in the morning, as the first rays of the sun came out, the flag was still there. That's what the second verse talks about, by the way. On the shore dimly seen through the mists of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, oh, long may it wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's just the second verse. There's 2 more great verses. Okay, one of these days we're going to do a whole little mini lecture on the Star-Spangled Banner. Here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Wow, what a stirring, beautiful melody. And one of these days, again, we'll talk about the whole thing. Verse 3 is really intense. It talks about the British footsteps will be washed out with their own blood. Yes, I know. Take time and read the Star Spangled Banner for a home assignment. You will be surprised. Coda just loves it. She's come up. She loves music. She's here again. So this is goodbye for today. Happy Saint... I did this again, didn't I? Happy, happy 4th of July. My brain is cuckoo these days, isn't it? I can't even keep the holiday straight anymore. Thank God I got our theme straight. Happy 4th of July, everybody. And I wish I could say I'm going to have a big barbecue Saturday. Maybe I'll have a small barbecue. And I'll see you again in person very, very soon. God bless and take care. Bye-bye.